Hello everybody, welcome back to another video of mine. Thank you for tuning in. In today's video, I would like to discuss Gordon Ramsay's show, Masterchef, the US edition. Specifically, how I feel about the quality of the show dropping throughout the years. Or at least how boring and unenjoyable the show has been these days. Now, Gordon Ramsay is no stranger to being on television. He has tons of shows on TV these days, and even more that are not on the air anymore. My favorite shows from Gordon Ramsay are Hell's Kitchen, Kitchen Nightmares, Hotel Hell, The F Word, Gordon's Great Escape, and of course, Masterchef. Now, what made Masterchef enjoyable for me to watch was a combination of many things. The cooking challenges were really interesting, like the mystery boxes, the pressure tests, and the team challenges. And in the first 4 seasons of MasterChef, when the chefs had to... Now, in MasterChef, the premise of the show is for amateur home cooks with little to no, maybe not exactly little to no, but not as much experience as a professional chef would have. These chefs would battle each other out to get a cash prize and a trophy, and their own cookbook published, I believe. Now, before the chefs could even make it onto the show, I believe they have to pass an audition and then earn an apron by getting approval from 2 out of the 3 judges. In the first 4 seasons of MasterChef, the challenges that the chefs had to do to earn these aprons felt very entertaining to watch. They did it inside some sort of warehouse, and it was just entertaining for me as a viewer. In season 5, they changed the apron challenge, the challenges to get an apron. They moved it into the MasterChef kitchen, which is fine, but it just didn't feel the same. And then later on, it just kind of changed for me. You know, they let an audience come in and watch like it was a sporting event, which I don't feel too high about, but, you know, that's not the biggest reason why MasterChef fell off, but it's one of the reasons why it became a little less enjoyable for me. Here, in the MasterChef warehouse, we get to see the dreams and hopes of many MasterChef hopeful home cooks come to life. And in the warehouse, we get to see these home cooks for the first time as they create a dish that they present to the judges, and the judges will see if it's worthy or not of these home cooks getting an apron or not. And we get to also see the backgrounds and personalities of different chefs. And what's rewarding about watching these auditions is making it to the end of the season and comparing the dishes that the remaining home cooks made from a later episode to their audition dish. And we get to see the growth that they made throughout the competition. And what made these auditions in the warehouse special and memorable and entertaining to me was the trolling that the judges did sometimes, and the funny comments that they made for certain dishes. For example,
but not everyone has the recipe for MasterChef's success.
Because I'm not time oriented, I'm always like in a la la land. What are you cooking?
I am cooking a fresh herb roasted rack of venison.
A fiesta, lime. It's like chicken fajitas, or it could be a burrito.
Stacked salmon with filling.
A deviled egg with beef tartare in it.
And then I stuffed salmon.
And tuna tartare in the style of like a tuna salad sandwich.
And I'm going to top that off with a nice bourbon cream sauce.
You've been drinking that?
Well, I had a couple shots while I was cooking.
I'm kind of freaked out before we even start.
I told my husband, you know what? I think I'm a peacock and I need to fly.
The texture on the yolk, I'm not digging.
I feel like I'm eating a tire. Disgusting. You're a lucky man that you haven't killed somebody. Raspberries, salmon, chipotle, grits. Damn. It's like you're wearing the wrong clothes and putting lipstick on your big toe.
Oh, okay.
For me, it's a no.
I need a water.
So why Masterchef? What do you think you bring to the competition?
I can bring drive and energy.
Good. Run down there, touch the Masterchef logo, and shoot back. Off you go. Hurry up. And back. And
right.
good. 1, 2, 3. Sprint! Sprint! How you feeling?
Good.
For me, it's a no.
After a run of
In the later seasons, however, the auditions to get an apron seemed a little different to me. You know, the future MasterChef hopefuls doing the auditions in front of an audience feels a little off-putting to me. I feel like it was better for the chefs to cook, the home cooks to cook in front of the judges, so that the judges can see the process and the thoughts put behind the signature dishes that these home cooks are trying to make in order to get an apron. Instead of doing it in front of an audience where the judges can't really see the process and the steps that were taken to make the dish, and doing it in front of the crowd makes it seem like a bit of a sporting event to me, which is fine if that's what the producers are trying to do, but to me as a viewer, I would have just preferred the auditions to mimic what has been done in the first 4 seasons. In the previous seasons of MasterChef, the chefs chose the home cooks who produced a signature dish that was up to their standards and gave them an apron based on the quality of their dish. However, in these recent seasons of MasterChef, for whatever reason, there have been themes that have been introduced, such as MasterChef Legends, MasterChef Taste of the States, MasterChef Generations, which insinuates millennials, baby boomers, Generation X, whatever. And this latest season baffles me the most, which is dynamic duos, which meant that 2 chefs, 2 home cooks paired up with each other and battled it out against other other pairings to battle it out for the cash prize, the right to write a cookbook, and the MasterChef trophy, which is bizarre to me because I thought this show was called MasterChef, not MasterChefs. In the words of former ESPN commentator Mark Jackson, what happened to the game I love? Or in this case, what happened to the show that I love? Come on now. Another reason why I was entertained and enjoyed the earlier seasons of MasterChef was because of the mystery box challenges, the different variety of team challenges, and of course, the pressure tests. in the earlier seasons of MasterChef, the pressure tests created very strong home cooks that were contenders for the prize, the MasterChef prize. Here, you can see Leslie take on one of his many pressure tests in his season. He became a very strong home cook towards the end of the season, and I feel like the pressure tests are one reason why he became a strong chef. There are other chefs too that have thrived in the pressure tests. You know the saying, pressure creates diamonds. However, in the later seasons, I think season 11 is when someone thought it was a good idea to take away the pressure tests. Taking away the pressure tests, to me, stole any kind of identity that this show used to have. It was a big part of the show, and the fact that it was taken away was a big stab in the back to me. The show didn't feel the same after that. And I heard the pressure tests came back during season 15, but that was during the disastrous dynamic duo season. So there was no point. I just couldn't wrap my head behind the concept. You might be wondering what the MasterChef wall is. Well, if you may have guessed, it's a tall wall that separates home cooks on each side. Two home cooks have to work with each other, have to collaborate try to make the same exact dish as each other. Try to make it look the same, taste the same, and everything. The catch is that they can't see each other. They have to verbally communicate and shout over this wall so that their voice can be heard. So, for example, there's a chef here and here. So they have to communicate with each other and whatnot. And the problem with this challenge is that it's super noisy and annoying. There are better ways to test communication than to have a wall. I believe a better way to emphasize the importance of communication and speaking loud enough to be heard is to delegate in a restaurant where one person is expediting a ticket and the other person is cooking. That way you can see who is able to communicate with each other. You know, who's able to clearly explain what's needed in a ticket, and B, who's going to be able to cook and listen. But in this hectic wall challenge, there are many problems. There are two main problems, which is that there are many other duos or partners trying to communicate with their partner as well. Which leads to problem number 2, which is that it's loud as heck. And here is an example of how annoying and how loud this challenge gets.
Okay, let's start with the potatoes.
Okay, Zach, you there?
Yeah.
I can't hear you very well at all. You need to be louder.
Yeah, I'm here.
Okay.
Julia Sauce, you hear me?
I hear you.
Jessica.
I can't hear you. Hold on, I'm coming back.
Asu boiling water.
Yes, one peeling the potatoes, I'm cutting the potatoes. Jeez, it's loud.
Julia Sauce, please.
What? What did you say?
Jess, I need you to speak up over the wall.
What's that?
Speak up over the wall.
Okay.
I can't hear anything. Like, you're loud, but it's muffled.
I knew it was going to be loud. I didn't know it was going to be this loud.
As you can see, the common themes of this challenge are the need to speak up and how noisy it can get. And the chefs keep saying that they can't hear each other, and they keep saying what or speak up. I can't hear you. And the repetitiveness of this makes it quite annoying, and the noise levels are quite... It can get unbearable sometimes. So you might as well watch this on mute or closest to mute. Another problem I can clearly see with this challenge is that there's a clear advantage to those cooking at the edges of the wall. Like, right here, you can easily just sneak behind the back like that, and then communicate to the person you're working with without having to shout over the wall. You can just take a few steps. He can take a few steps to his right, turn around, and clearly communicate what he needs to be completed so that their dish can turn out to be, tasting the same and looking the same as each other's, which puts a clear disadvantage to the ones in the middle. It's just unfair. So if you want to keep the wall, which I don't think you should make the wall either longer or space the contestants more closer to each other so that they don't have the advantage, so that no one has the advantage of being on the edges. I mean, look at this. This pair right here, they can just easily communicate with each other. All she has to do is take a few steps over here and communicate and speak about what she needs done. And she could do the same over here. Just, they could do a meetup like that. I haven't watched this season, but I don't know if there are any rules that prohibit this, but it's clearly unfair. It's clearly unfair and it gives a huge advantage to the chefs on the edge, while the chefs in the middle right here, they have to shout over the voices of the other home cooks, and they don't have the advantage of being on the edge.